Alright, hello. Today we're going to be working on doing some porting of MMD models into GMOD. I'm going to be basing my tutorial mainly actually off of a different YouTuber. It's going to be right here. This is Deadwater. He sort of actually got me into porting models into GMOD. He made this amazing tutorial. I recommend, I'm going to give all credit to him. I learned everything from these video tutorials. But he mainly covered how to cover like sort of normal models, I would say, not really sort of anime models. So today I'm going to be doing just sort of the first part, which is going to be getting your MMD model or VRM model or whatever else type anime model that is not so standard as the ones he chose into Blender and then converting it over into Gmod. Of course, though, you actually won't really need to use my tutorial. I'm not going to actually go as in depth with the QC editing, the hair physics and stuff. You can follow his tutorials, but I will give some advice about things we're going to use instead of what he does. But for the rest of it, you should check out his video. So yeah, we're just going to get started, and I will end before the proportion trick, because his video should take over at that point. Okay, so let's start with, sorry. We're going to start with some things you're going to need. I'll link these in the description. But in his video, he does use Blender 2.7 and 2.7 and Blender 3.6. I don't. You can follow his part of the tutorial with 3.6, but you won't really need to. Especially with the anime models, the MMDs and stuff. It's much easier to use 4.3 for me at least, and I'll show you why in a second. But anyhow, let's get started. You do need the Cats program, and you're also going to want the Blender source tools. The most well, you'll choose which Blender version actually you want first. So I'm on 4.3 right now, so that's what I'm using. You're going to get 4.3 VRM add-on, 4.3 Blender source tools, and yeah. So same thing with Cats. I know Cats does say you can find developmental, but these are actually highly fine. I've been using 4.3 already for about 2-3 months already, so I haven't had any problems. So anyhow, let's get started. So what you're going to do first is, of course, go to your favorite place to find a model. I chose Nico 3D. If you can't read Japanese, it's rather difficult, but you can always use the auto translate function. Today we're going to do a whole live MMD and also show you how to import VRMs as well. This will apply as well to the Vroid hub. You can pull models from there. It's all going to be done the same. They're all the same coding. But I'm just going to do the Watame model here and as our MMD showcase in the VRM here. And this is what Cats does work with. Okay, so we got our models. We're now going to go open our version of Blender. Again, you're going to want to sort of combine mine and his tutorial. Anyways, we're going to start in general. As always, you can delete all these, delete hierarchy. I already, some people don't like this, but I start, you can just follow these settings, this sort of brighter world. It's easier for me to see on. And what you're going to start off with is, again, if you don't know how to get to this step, this is more of an advanced tutorial. You will need to know how to do things like install add-ons. It's very easy. Edit, preferences, and then you're going to hit install from disk, and you literally just choose the files you downloaded, and it will install. And you check mark them here, and they will appear in your hotbar here. Okay, we're going to start with Cats. Actually, I lied. We need to first put these into a new folder. So I'm going to call this one Watame. It's going to be a sort of test folder, and then Corone. Oh. And let's just quickly, you will need some sort of zip, like banzip or something. I think most people have, like WinRAR. It's fine. We're going to put these in here. My VRM is then there. And we'll get Watame. You are going to see, like, the text here is all messed up. So this is because sometimes WinRAR or banzip will try to translate the Japanese, which doesn't work too well. You're actually going to delete this if you see these random characters. I'm just going to call this Watame for now. Sometimes if you try to use these weird things, Blender will not read it. Also with textures, you might need to also change them if you see them renamed to something weird. Okay, we're going to start. Most people are going to be doing MMDs, I think. I could be wrong, but we'll start with MMD real quick. We're going to go to MMD, and again, we're in the Cats program. The import model button, you can hit this, but I prefer to hit this so I can choose exactly. I'm going to choose MMD, of course. Remove all this internal dictionary, and we're going to go down into our downloads, that new file I made called Watame somewhere here. Here we go. Okay, and again, you know, maybe you need to change the scale to 0.08 like I've done, but anyways, start here. Import our model right here. And it will load for a second. Some people have said this newer version of Blender crashes. I haven't had that problem, but of course, you know, that's only my experience. You might have a problem. I'm going to quickly create a save file for this. I'm going to call this Watame test, you know. I might actually use this for a mod, I'm not sure, but I will just show you. And you're going to want to save a lot. You know, this is just sort of a thing. It's important in Blender. Let's start with the hot. It's Control S to save really quickly. You're going to want to get used to that in case your Blender crashes. Okay, so here we have Watame, and I've selected her armature here. And right here we have these three different things. He does go over this in his video, in Deadwater's video, which I'll link again. You can hit H in Blender after selecting, let's say, the armature, the bones. I'm going to hide that. Here we have the clean model just to look at. If it looks a bit weird as opposed to when you see them on streams or in anime, it's because the way I've set it up to show. If you click here, we can sort of get a look at how they're shaded. So right here, this is how it'll probably appear in game, the shadeless function right here. And this is sort of like how it would appear in the dark, I believe. But like in game, this should look pretty. This is the exact result you should get in game. Okay, but I'm going to use this viewport shading for now. I just need it this way. And what we're going to do is you're going to reselect the armature. Now, Cats has really saved me a lot of time. So in the past, you had to manually do a bunch of things, but Cats, this beautiful program, actually we're going to turn on the setting here. You're going to come up here, and up here is this button called Statistics. We're going to get a look at the bones. So right now, Watame has 466 bones. The limit, don't ignore what I just did. The limit for bones in GMOD is 200. Oh, so it's actually 128. But something Deadwater doesn't go over is you can actually use the SFM compiler to increase that limit of what the bone limit is. So she has 466 right now. But I want to go up to, we can go up to 256, give or take 2 or 3 bones. We're really actually going to aim for 253. I'll explain later why, but sometimes Blender will auto-generate extra bones, and yeah, we're just going to aim for 253, 254, but 256 is the limit, and there is a texture limit as well. I'm going to show you all these things. Anyways, okay, let's start here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit A. It's going to select all of this. You really want to make sure you open this up to make sure you've selected the mesh and the armature. You see the outlines here. And what we're going to do is in Cats, there is a very neat function in other option, not other options, MMD options, fix MMD model. So if you saw my last tutorial about porting MMDs into VRM form, you can use this and it's very useful. You do want to keep check of this little toolbar here. Some models do not like it when you join the meshes. And some other things, I'm going to keep it with these settings right now. If you notice irregularities like textures breaking or something, turn off join mesh, turn off these things slowly, and I'll show you how we're going to fix that later on. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure this model should not have this problem. So we're going to hit fix model, ignore this, you can hit OK. I've used it on Booth and Gumroad models. I'm not quite sure why they say this. So yeah, anyhow, we did it. We fixed it once, but we're gonna hit A again, and we're gonna fix it a second time. I don't know why it doesn't always work the first time, and I'll show you. And maybe actually I should show you what I mean why it doesn't work the first time. I just Control Z right now. This is your undo history. So right now, it's acting as if I've only done it once. We're going to click on the armature, which has actually become hard now. I'm going to show you how to fix that later. Actually, I'll show you how to do it now. Right here, viewport display, so this little running guy. You're going to choose in front. While you've selected armature, choose in front, and it'll come back. I'm going to choose her armature, and there's a little shortcut, Control and Tab, to switch to pose mode. I'm pretty sure, oh, actually, it did fix the first time. Sometimes you need to do the fix twice, because sometimes for some reason it doesn't fix her bones correctly. I'm just hitting R here to move her arm around. Sometimes it looks really weird. The mesh, maybe, okay, it looks like it worked. But I recommend fixing twice. And I'm going to do it anyways, just safety. And again, I'm just using little shortcuts. The hardest part about Blender is you have to learn a lot of things about shortcuts, Control Z and whatnot, all these different things. Anyways, we are going to go back into the in front after this. All right, so now we've basically, in the past, you used to have to really fix all these bones, do all these different things. But I've sort of just found this method to be so much better. And it really saves us a lot of time. And look at that, we're actually already under the bone requirement. It's amazing, it really cuts down all the useless bones that GMOD will not be functioning. And it combines a lot of bones that MMD uses, but other games will not. Okay, so now here comes the second part. We need to size Watame up. So in Deadwater's thing, again, give all credit to him. In his description, his first video, he should have a link to a file. I already have it downloaded. I'm not going to include them here. I want you guys to go to his video. It really is that great. You're going to find in his tutorial, he has this file with the name of size reference. You're going to go into the size reference, and you're going to, making sure make new armature is on, import that body he sent. And we can quickly open this up on the side. We're going to delete the skeleton, actually. And we're going to turn Watame's armature and her body back on. And now that I've selected her like this, I'm going to tap S, and we're going to grow her up. You just, scroll up. So this is, I'm going to save, actually. I haven't saved in a while. This is the average height of the GMOD player model character. And I think it's 180 centimeters. I don't know what that is in feet, despite being an American. But I know that this is, maybe it's 6 feet or whatever. It's not too important. But the character size is about what, the normal citizen in GMOD is. So with that information, you can kind of pick and choose how tall you want your characters to be. So Watame is a shorter Hololive member. So maybe you don't want her to be taller than this. She's probably maybe only like 150 centimeters if I had to guess. I actually don't know what 150 centimeters looks like. It doesn't really matter because it's all going to be pretty relative to what you see in game. And yeah, I'm going to size her about, let's say under this dude's neck, I guess. You don't want her to be too short. The game kind of doesn't like that, and the game doesn't like if it's too tall. So you really want to choose, like, I want to say don't choose anything under this dude's, like here. Otherwise the game will really mess it up. And don't choose anything above here. This is just like I'm just kind of like guessing, but whenever I've done things above that height, it really messes up, especially with player models. Okay, I'm gonna ignore that now. And at this step, you can just delete this dude. You don't need him ever again. Okay. You do need, I don't know why, but it makes your life a lot easier. A lot of models, for some reason, will be under the axis here, and you actually really don't want that. So we are going to lift, we can hit G, and you're going to tap Z. You don't want to, I'm going to show you what happens. If you hit G and you start moving your mouse, you get this. So if you hit G, I actually take my mouse off the keyboard, off my mat. Then I hit Z. This is the axis Z, X, and Y. You can sort of go along these axes. And I just raise it up a little bit. I'm holding shift right now while moving up on my mouse, and just a little bit over the axis. And you'll find out later why. Because when he shows you how you make the physics model for for your models, it's very important that their mesh is not clipping underground like this, because when you spawn them in game, they tend to freak out because they think they're underground. I don't actually know the reason, but this is just for my testing of like I don't know, I've ported maybe 60 models, and this is just what I've learned. And this is a crucial step. You're going to hold Control and hit Control A, and you're going to just choose all transforms. He talks about like doing like location, rotation, scale. I just hit all transforms. It works every time. So just do that. The reason why is if you don't do this step, anytime you try to change the model, she will so anytime you size up a model, anytime you do this, you move axes, if you don't do that Control A step, they will go back somewhere else. And you do want to make sure your model is at the origin, by the way. This should be an important thing. You do want to make sure they're at the origin. Okay, now next thing. Now he makes a big point that this is somewhat difficult, or not difficult, it just takes time. There is a file he will give you, and I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. It is called Valve Biped. It's a oh, you do need Notepad. Anyways, we're going to pull that up. He gives you this. He shows you what to do with it. Again, watch this part of the tutorial to understand more. But this is for those who want to sort of combine my tutorial and his with MMDs. You're going to need this. You're only going to need it for a few seconds. So typically in GMOD, the source models require specific bone names, the main bones. So like, you know, if we were to hide hair is not an essential bone in GMOD because I mean you don't really see like hair flowing. But anyways, the fix model should have fixed all of the bones to be as you can see, sort of like left toe, left ankle, left knee, left leg. There's only 8 like leg bones in total. Sometimes you'll get toe bones, but this model doesn't have any. And then we have 1, 2, 3, only 3 chest spine bones, I'm going to call them. If we check here, though, we actually have 5 sort of center bones you need in the model. I'm going to show you quickly how I name them. So I call this one is called hips that the Cats is auto-named. We need to add 2 more bones to here because obviously this is the neck here and this is the head. These need to be filled by, we already have these done, but I can tell we're missing 2 bones on this model. People have told me you don't need to do all 5 of them. I think that, I don't know where they get that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you need all 5. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit G and Z. And again, that's just making sure, you know, you select the ball joint here. I'm going to add a bone in the middle here. Just hit E, which adds a. So when you've selected something like this, if you tap E, and then I'll show you. If you hit E normally, it will sort of extend a bone out. Undo that. It says extrude, adds a new bone. But when I tap Z after selecting it, it goes, you know, on the axis. And I'm gonna add an extra bone here. Yeah, why not? E, Z. Okay. Next, we are going to name these. We're just gonna name these. And I'll show you why. Actually, you know, I'm going to do proof of concept. We're not going to name any of them. I'm going to show you what you're going to do. You are going to take this here, and you're going to change the relations, and we're going to make these now. Actually, I do need to rename this to like base. I'm going to just change this. See how the parent is the hips? It's this bone here. I want this base part, which is going to be the pelvis soon, to be the center bone of the body. So I'm going to tell it to follow the parent the base. Oh, I messed up, sorry. I want this to parent to the base, and there you go, it's moved. And same thing with this side, base. Okay, now the legs are connected to here. I need to make sure that this, the hips, I added a new bone below it. I want to make sure the hips are now connected to that new center bone. So, base. And up here, right, we added this new bone in between the two. Let's check the name. This is called spine.001. I'm just going to call this spine2 for now. I'm going to change the parent, right? The chest should be parented to spine2 now. I'm just going to add the 2 here. Again, you can name these your own things. You can make sure that they're connected by hitting this connected button. and right there, the parent, if it wasn't parented to the right one, it would, like, here, I'll show you. If it was parented to bag, look at that, it just flings over there. So right there. Okay, connected. And this one is connected. All right, so this one's all fine. Looks like everything is now parented up and connected. You don't need to connect this. This will connect downwards. Anyways, and you don't need to connect these. It looks better like this. You know, the leg bones. Okay, perfect. Now, for my proof of concept, if I go back into object mode, and I'm going to save again. It's done some good work. I'm going to go down to this little button that saves you a lot of time. And when you're someone like me who just, you know, sprints through these models, actually, we're going to do this step first. We're going to hit this all button. MMDs and VRMs usually made by Japanese people. We're going to just hit all. This translates everything. Bones, shape keys, objects, materials. This will really help you down the long run. Okay, so right here, under Show More Options, there's this very awesome feature called Convert Bones to Valve. And this really saves you a lot of time. I'm going to show you. So usually you'd have to go over and hand change the name of each bone right here, you know, match this up, control, you know, copy paste this here, you know, and then look at all these fingers. You need all of these for GMOD. So this really saves you time. I'll show you. Convert bones to valve, instantly done. Look at that. We have our right thigh, our left thigh. You know, sometimes I don't even check because it's so accurate, you know. And honestly, I don't know who did it. I love it. It's so good. You know, if this is your first time doing the model, though, you should check, though. You know what? I was wrong. Unfortunately, didn't get this one right. The pelvis, unfortunately, should be the middle bone. So I was wrong. It is still better to name the middle bones, I guess. We're going to change this to the pelvis. After the pelvis comes spine. And then, oh, looks like this one got named to spine. I'm going to name that spine 2. Spine. Sorry, I'm just doing off memory, but I should be showing you guys. Pelvis, spine 1, spine 2, spine 4. So the next one after spine is spine 1. I don't know why Valve made it like that. This is called spine 2. We got to go back here though, because anytime you rename something the same thing, it gives you that .00 1, which is really what I don't want. Oh, did I name something wrong? What did I do? Oh yeah, this one, spine 4. Don't know why it became spine 1. Alright, so it doesn't always work, but it does work for the hands and the legs pretty consistently, which is really what takes the most time. This should be neck, and this is head. Yeah, perfect. Alright, again, that's pelvis, spine 1, spine 2, spine 4, neck 1, head 1. Cool. And then we have the clavicle here, and upper arm, forearm, hand. Wow, look at that. It's already worked. Finger. Yeah, I can already tell it's worked. Good. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to save here. This is a good thing. All right. Next step. So usually, I'm rather quick about it. So, you know, again, slow down the tutorial. Check with his video. Make sure, you know, that I'm saying things correctly. I do go around, you know, after you do this translation step, though, I do sometimes need to check on some bones. Japanese is not a perfect language to translate sometimes, so sometimes you'll be left with things that are weird names, or they'll keep the Japanese. Let's just do a quick check, and I'll show you how I do it. Right here, you can, I'm going to close this tab. And right here, we can see that we can see like every single bone here. I'm going to show you how we can sort of open them up and take a look around. I usually just check, you know, I think most English speakers can identify when they don't see English text. It looks like the translation got it pretty good. You know, as you port more things, you'll become accustomed to things the translator cannot auto-translate. It's usually like whenever somebody gives it a weird name, you know, like I can't really think of any examples right now, but sometimes you get things that have weird names that are not translated well. Okay, we are going to move on to the next step. Deadwater does a very amazing job in his tutorial and really gives off a lot of info and a lot more condensed than what I'm doing, but doesn't really cover the sort of nuances with different types of models, really, which is no fault to him. I'm just going to sort of get into the more MMD-esque anime things that maybe he didn't cover, because his model, he actually created what do you call it? Shapekeys, actually. Shapekeys are what give your character sort of like a face, like things that can, blinking and all this stuff. We're actually gonna skip this step for now. Actually, I've changed my mind. We are going to go to the next step, which is what I do is sort of like, you can decide whether you want to do this. Actually, no, you can't. You have to do it this way. You need to create what are called body groups. The reason why is because GMOD cannot handle this amount of vertices. The vertice limit in GMOD per model is 10 or 15,000. But when we break it up, because we're, this whole model is 73,000 vertices, we need to break it up into 10 and 15,000. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. In the Cats tab, there's this really nice feature called all right, here we go. We're going to go other options. You can hit separate by materials. And yeah, there we go. It's going to load for a second. Okay, cool. I'm going to save again. Here we have every single material that's sort of different, I want to say. So right here we have like the face, all these different things. And we're going to combine them back all up. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. In his video, he shows you this really convenient way to sort of name, like a naming scheme. I'm going to copy his because it's what I've been doing. So let's start. Right here, we start with Watame, and let's start choosing stuff. This is her front hair, and we have 2,000 vertices. We can hit up 10,000. I don't really want to hit 10,000 though. I want to hit maybe like 96, 700. So I'm going to hide this for now just to take a look. We're going to also take her back here. Look at that, we're at 64. I'm going to hit G to pull it off, and I'm just going to check to see what other hair. Maybe this hair as well. Cool, that's 8,000, and that's awesome. We got all our hair. So I'm going to hold, now that we've selected all these, and I'm just hitting Shift. I'm just shift left clicking. I'm going to hold Control J. That's going to make it all one thing. And again, we're under that 10,000. And we're going to type in, do whatever naming convention you want. I just do their first name and then like hair. He actually doesn't separate the hair from his model, but I also don't think his model had a lot of vertices. For some reason, we have to have as many vertices sometimes that are super unoptimized. Anyways, yeah, here we go. We have her hair, and I'm going to quickly, let's see. So, this is sort of where your creativity comes in. People like to scene build, people like to make little stories, whatever, they want to make animations. If they want, let's say, maybe Watame doesn't have horns, I don't know why, but it's kind of fun. You want to make it more customizable, you can remove these. Some people don't actually like that, and whatever, they can do what they want. I'm going to do it. I'd like to do it this way anyways. So sometimes I make body groups that aren't just for reaching that 10,000 limit. And as I go through, I'm going to start removing. I'm going to start hitting H and hiding them so I can just see what I haven't done. Right here we have a slight problem. I want to call these like 4 things right here, like her hair accessories. However, this is attached to her cape. We are going to go her cloak. Let's go into edit mode. You're going to hold this right over it. You can tap L, and if you ever need, if these meshes are ever like under each other, you can hit the X-ray mode. Anyways, just tap L. It's going to select as many as they can. Hit P and separate them. Cool. Now I have 2 separate meshes. I have the cloak here that's no longer connected to whatever these things are. I'm calling them her like hair accessories. And now I'm going to choose the hair accessories here. I'm going to make sure these are not connected to anything. We can actually do this a different way. We can go here. Look at that. These are not connected to anything. These are not connected to anything. Cool. Control J again. We're going to call these Watame hair accessories. I might have spelled that wrong. I don't know. Oh well. Cool. And hide that again. And again, so you're not quite, so like right here, I've just selected something that's 23,000 vertices. You can see that. And, it's probably all this, creating this fluffy texture. Anyways, when I think about how clothes should come off, like I think obviously let's make it a little bit more easier. Let's go around and select the let's separate the sort of like skirt fluffiness. We're gonna turn that off here. We're gonna separate those. We're gonna separate the shoe fluffy things, and let's separate the. See, sometimes you have to make little sacrifices. So like here we're at 13,000, and I would actually prefer if we could take this all off on one body group, in GMOD, but looks like we can't. We're gonna have to make it like upper fluffy off first, Unfortunately, sometimes things need to be made. You can lower the amount of what do we call these little vertices. I'm going to show you, but I don't recommend it because sometimes it breaks certain things and it looks really bad. So you're gonna, sorry, I just did that really quick. Go to Mesh, Clean Up, Decimate Geometry, and right here, if you change the ratio, I can lower the, so look at that, vertices are dropping by half. Now, I could, choose everything, but, I don't know if you can tell, it's sort of changed the texture a little bit over time. You can sort of choose and pick and choose, what things you think can look a little bit worse. I'm not going to do it. I don't think people really care that much that it takes them 2 buttons to change how her body looks, especially if you're scene building. It's not a huge deal. However, you can do it. I don't recommend doing this for her face ever. If you do it to the face, which needs that extra vertices, in case you use Shapekeys, it will really mess up your model, so don't do that. Anyways, we're going to, again, you can clean up, but I don't do that. Okay, cool. So now we've separated her like fluffy parts. Again, I'm trying to inspire an idea of creativity in you guys. You guys would have to sort of pick and choose what parts. Oh, I messed up here. I'm going to separate these as well. But yeah, again, I think you guys are getting what I'm saying. You need to sort of pick and choose what things come off, what you think looks good. And yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, I messed up twice actually. This needs to separate. Sorry. Okay. So you see how like I wanted like the ribbon to come off with this piece, so I'm gonna Control J them. So when I hide this, it hides all of it at once. Oh, Control J. Let's connect these two. Cool. Okay. And like slowly we're chipping down. Oh, I need to be naming these. Otame. I don't know. Forearm. Fluffy. And oh, I spelled that horribly wrong. And I think you guys are sort of seeing the point. You need to pick and choose what you want your model to have. And so, yeah, hide this. Now, let's continue this. I don't know what to call this. I might just put these 3 together. Oh, one of these is the cape, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I think these are connected. Control J, hide. I was right. Okay. Necktie. Oh. And don't feel bad if it's taking a while. I think the first time I did any model, it took me about, I don't know, a week to really perfect. No, not a week, sorry. Maybe like a day, to really get, from here to GMOD. Just watching the tutorial. Let's call this the Otame cloak. Okay. So, oh yes, here's next problem. Okay. Control J. Cool. All right, that's her cloak done. You know, we're slowly getting there. Maybe I'll skip ahead after I've completed all this, but I think you guys are getting the point. So I will skip ahead, and then you guys can see the next step. Alright guys, sorry, I almost forgot about doing the VRM. Quickly, we are going to go to the Corona folder, and you're going to same things as the MMD importation. All you're going to do this time, however, is using the actually, you can still use Cats. Go to VRM instead. You're going to want to keep all these settings on. And let's go get our Corona file. Do some cleaning real quick. Same setup actually though, for the most part. It might ask you something like if you own a license for it sometimes. Anyways, ignore that. VRM does take longer than MMD usually though. And yeah, here we go. Here's the model. You're gonna notice the bone setup is different. They're also T-posing. Same setup. Go to Cats. Go into MMD options. You are welcome to use fixed MMD model on these. Fixed MMD model. Should get rid of the colliders. If it doesn't, delete them separately. There we go. Yes, unfortunately GMOD does not use colliders, so they are pointless. Now we do the double fix method. Go into the viewport. Put bones back onto front, and here you go. You are completely set up just the same as you were for MMD. So yes, this would conclude the tutorial. Again, you do need to fix all the bones like we did for the MMD, but otherwise this functions essentially exactly the same. It might be hard though to find the materials. The materials were actually now generated into a folder right here, your textures. Yes. If you have a model, however, like this that has a lot of the textures, you're going to want to go to a separate tutorial on how to bake textures together. Yes, because GMOD's limit is 32 materials, you are going to need to bake all of these up together. That's actually rather quite simple. Again, the tutorial will be something like how to bake material meshes. Alright, good luck. I actually wanted to come back before I finish the head, because the head is actually very important in MMD. Let me just quickly name this. So what we're gonna do actually, so as you can see here, I've gotten rid of most of everything before the head. I'm just gonna make sure that everything is under 10,000. Yes, so I got a little unlucky here. It looks like her face is 14,000 vertices. That is not quite what I wanted to see. And I want to know why exactly, because looks like I've chosen a very high poly model. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm going to check what's taking up so much of that. Ah, okay. Hmm. I see. Okay. So, you know, not sometimes, this is actually what I normally do. You know, you really got to get that face under 10,000. So what I typically do is I actually make the eyes a separate thing from the head, and I'll show you, and it's sort of an anime trope of why we do that. So for at the moment, I'm just going to Control J all these, the eyeballs, and we can check to make sure. Sometimes you have the eye highlights, which are separate, and I'm going to connect the rest of the face together. Control J, Watame, actually head, and we'll call these Watame eyes. And yeah, so now we're under the constraints of the vertices correctly. And again, I said don't do the mesh cleanup decimation for the face. You will really mess up I've done it a few times and it really messes up, the model, the face model. So let's turn everything back on. As you can see, I've chosen things that, like, I've decided we're not going to be able to remove the skirt. I make it usually an option, but well, there's nothing here, and also, there's 2 high vertices, so I'm just going to make these not removable anyways. And even if you remove the shoes, there's no feet here anyways. I was thinking about making these removable, but again, you can see there's no feet, so why would I make that removable? I'm going to make the cloak removable, because, there's no invisible geometry. And yeah, okay. So now that we're at this step, we are going to choose a sort of, let's see. I'll kind of choose like how we want to. Okay. So, shape keys are sort of a big thing. Right here, I'm going to save again. So there's this little preview thing here. He shows you in the tutorial, but he doesn't tell you there is a limit of 32 shape keys. Oh, sorry, not shape key, of materials you can use. And anything that's named differently, so whether it's, so look at bag, like bag has a different name, but it actually uses the same texture as probably the clothes. Yeah, I was right. Look, the clothes uses the same texture as bag. We can combine those. And the way we're going to do that is a little bit involved. There is a function that combines them, but I don't like it. I think, let me check. Yeah, this one, fixed materials, will combine them. It kind of breaks some models because some models need transparent parts. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do it by hand. And yeah, we do the materials first and the shape keys after. Okay. So we're going to find a common, and so actually this is where this comes into use, the sort of like looking here at the PNGs. We have access to just, open the PNG and see. They're kind of named a little bad, but it's all right. We are going to call this, call this whatever you want, but this looks like clothes to me. But we're going to make sure there's no transparency issues with the clothes. So we're going to go to UV editing. You're going to pull this aside. You're going to turn the lights on. Pull this back. And let's take a look. So pull this down. I know it's a little overwhelming with all these little buttons. Just follow what I do. Be in object mode. We're going to select her bag. Come back up here. Go down to materials. And again, we can preview and see what it is. I'm going to switch to edit mode. When you hit select, it's going to pull up where on the actual PNG, right, that PNG we have, the model is getting its textures from. Now, it doesn't look like there's any transparency here, which is good. And in fact, I don't see any transparency on this entire PNG. But I will show you what does look like transparency. If we go to the head, the eyeballs, I know there will be transparency. Switch to object mode, go back to edit mode. Let's select the pupils. And yeah, you see this little checkered pattern? This is transparency. If, let's say, this was hovering over the transparent area here, it would need to be a in game it needs to be changed, and I'll show you what that is later. Secondly, we have the other eyeballs, the little change out eyeballs for anime characters. So yeah, this actually, I was surprised, this doesn't have any things. Maybe in the head we have a better example. If you go to edit mode, let's see, maybe the cheek. Here we go. See how it's hovering over and on the texture? This means it needs to have a transparency function. Yeah, it's hovering literally over the checkered board. Okay, I will show you this. I've already confirmed what needs transparency and what doesn't. I already know kind of the back of my heart, but you should check for your models which ones need transparency. And the important part is, again, you cannot combine two transparent parts, if that makes sense. You cannot combine a transparent part with a normal non-transparent. Otherwise, your character, when you turn the materials on, you're going to be able to see through her face and see her, expressions in the back. Anyways, Save again. I'm gonna give you guys a script in the description. I didn't write it. I don't know where I got it from though. I think I got it online. Uh, it's just called the fix. Anyways, you just you go to scripting and you open it, and we're just gonna leave it here for now. And we are going to start renaming this stuff. This is called bag. I want it to be called clothes. Now we're gonna go to her. We're going to check any other body part that uses that same PNG that bag uses. And we're going to make sure, we're going to make it one texture. Because, you know, when you're going to find why we're going to do this step. It's going to save you a lot more time. And it's really easy. I already know there's no transparency issues here. So I'm going to rename these all to clothes. And you're going to see it's going to create a little duplicated thing here. Ignore that. There might be an easier way to do it than what I'm doing. But I'm going to... I don't know it, so yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's take a look. No. Okay, cool. It looks like everything that needs to be named clothes is perfect. So now what I'm going to do, and this is going to sound really stupid the way I'm doing it, but this is the way I know how to do it. You're going to take the original one that's sort of chosen this name. I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to just tap A to select every vertex. Go back into object mode. And I'm going to copy this name. And then I'm going to go find another one that has the duplicate clothes. I'm now going to control click here. Right, so I've selected both now. I'm going to hit Control J. I'm going to combine them all into one. What this script does is it combines them. So you're just going to hit Run Script. Go back to layout, and now they're only one texture. And I'm going to go to edit mode, and you know how I selected this earlier? I'm going to separate it, and go back to object mode, and I'm going to give it its original name. Delete that, and there you go. I know it sounds really inefficient, probably is, but this is quick for me, and I've combined the materials now, and now they're just one, and there you go. I'm going to apply this to the right here. I know the tail and the hair usually shares textures, so I'm gonna just call this hair now. Go to her hair. Like, look at this. It's all the maybe there could be some transparency here. 1 second. Go back to the UV editing. Let's check. Right here. Look at that. Looks like front hair needs some transparency, from what I can tell. So we are going to keep front hair separate, but side hair. Oh, okay, side hair needs to exist by itself. Okay. So actually, these guys get away with it. Side hair. I know back hair can be a duplicate. It's going to be called front hair. Cool. What we're going to quickly do is we're going to take the tail. Going to go to edit mode again. Tail is back here. Hit A. Object mode. Copy. Go to the hair. Oh, sorry. Control click the hair. Control J. Now both hairs are in one little thing. Go to my scripting, run the script, and there you go. Edit. You can't see the tail. There it is. P, separate. Done. I copy pasted the name earlier, and there you go. There's the tail back. Cool. You actually do want to delete these things that were not part of the tail though earlier. It won't break the model, but sometimes it will. I know that sounds stupid, but like let's say like an eyeball. Sometimes if there's like a sort of priority sort of thing. Anyways, just delete them. It's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of case by case, but only keep the original texture where it was when you combine them. All right, and as I go through this process, I sort of turn these off as I finish them. Yeah, these two need to be combined. And again, edit, select here. Oh, actually, let's copy the name first. Control J. Script, run the script. Done. Edit, P, remove, separate, and copy paste the old name. I have a system down to do it quickly, but you will probably not. So, and if you find my ways terrible and you find a better way, please tell me. That'd be awesome. All right, I will come back when I'm done with this step. All right, so I'm back, and we have all of the parts named correctly, and as you can see, I have all of them I've had really condensed down, as you can see, so it's a lot less materials. And this also helps us, later on, as I said, but also makes your model look a lot cleaner if people ever want to edit it or do whatever. So yeah, okay. So now we're done with the material part. We're going to do the final two, I guess. It's kind of like the final part in optimizing your model. So we have our head, and we did separate the eyeballs, and there was a reason for that. I'll get to that. Let's start with the head. GMODs, and when you get to the QC editing part, GMOD does not really allow you to. Anyways, all I've done right here is I'm at the basis. I've just I put this on this little pin button. Now when I use my arrow keys, I can just scroll through them and look around. I'm just going around making sure everything's working, making sure a foreign character. Okay, so this is a foreign character. We cannot use this. Yeah, cannot use that. Oh. So, like, I just rename them, and I do remove the space here because QC files don't read these very well. And this is all I'm doing. I'm just renaming them, and the reason I'm going to rename them is because look at what I'm doing. I am sort of choosing to remove the little spaces here. Again, yeah, because QC can't be read. And I'm also checking like to see what they do to make sure they're still working. Sometimes the Cats program, they don't work. It makes the shape keys not work. I don't exactly know why. Hasn't happened in a long time for me, but it happened once, so I just check anyways. And to sort of get a grasp of how many shape keys there are, if you hit the plus button, yeah, this is a problem. There are 125 keys. Gmod's limit is 96. So this is slightly a problem. I will be choosing some shape keys to remove because of this. People have told me you can increase the amount of shape keys, but I can't seem to replicate that. But usually there are shape keys I remove anyways because they're not too useful. Anyways, so yeah, this is how I check. I just add a plus to find out how many I'm at. And it looks like we're at 124 with all of them. Yeah, there are a few I'm gonna get rid of. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look. So maybe let's see. And sometimes I like to give them little creative names. Nothing to look at. Yeah, let's take a look at some we need to get rid of, perhaps. Also, any foreign character, including these, will not be accepted. Yeah. Not even this little omega sign cannot be accepted. And yeah, just give a little creative names. Again, no spaces. I like to use capitals, because you'll see why later. Anyways, yeah, I don't think it accepts this either. Okay. Yeah, you might need to go around getting rid of little things. I'm actually gonna save here. I haven't decided exactly what I want to get rid of. Oh geez, yeah, there's a lot I need to get rid of. I get that this does limit, creators and how many poses they can make. Unfortunately, Gmod is just a very old engine, so you kind of have to take it as it is. And yeah, again, you guys can skip over this part. Again, I'm slowly just choosing every single thing and removing the space. It's not actually, you don't actually have to remove the space here, but you do have to remove it in the QC, so it's in your best interest to do it now. And yeah, okay. Looks like I'm close to finishing. No, It seems I still have tons of shape keys. I've just realized that. So actually, I mean, like, do I need to keep, like, this shape key, let's say? Like, I know, okay, so, like, we have an up and a down here, but, like, you know, I don't know. Will people use that? Depends. We'll find out. Yeah. Probably skip over this part in the video. Looks like I'm done for the most part. You know, the main things that I want to keep are things like this, like the things that are hard. Like, I get that people want to change what they look like, but you know, these are a little bit more important to me. These little, I don't know what you call them, expressions. All right, cool. We're done with this segment. Sorry for rambling. Cool. Let's just pretend this was a low amount and you guys did not have more than 96. We'll find out later if I was wrong and it's actually 128. But let's go up to our eyeballs. This is the final thing. You need to actually also make sure nothing else on the model except the... Okay, see how necktie has shape keys? These need to go. Delete all shape keys. Horns, these need to go as well. Only the head can have shape keys. Only one part of the body can have shape keys. Alright, this needs to go. And this came from when we separated the body up, so let's delete those. Okay. Now, the reason why we're going to keep the eyes really quickly, though, is because I'm going to make the eyes a body group. So we're going to take a look and find what I'm going to save here. So the eyeballs don't have anything that works with blink, or should you start from the bottom? Don't need this. So I want to keep this, the highlight erasure, this, so I'll keep that. I want these, want these, want these. Oh, I don't, yeah, we don't need these two. This one I like, this is called, like, it's a little camera trick. You see the eyes can follow you around. They put this on most models, and if you're a little clever, you know exactly how this works. You've probably seen it online. Hit G and you move the eyeballs back, right? It's a little, they follow you. Yeah, it works as a shape key. Anyways, ignoring my little tangent. Let's see. Okay, cool. I think the rest of those we don't need. I'm going to slowly delete them. I'm just looking for a change in the eyeballs. I'm going to show you guys what I do. So, wait a second. Oh, keep that one. So people like to keep these, but I don't think you need these because the models have eye bones, and if you're a modeler in GMOD, you know you can just control the bones and move them wherever you want, so you can delete those. Cool. Do not delete the bases. Okay. So now we have these little created. Oh, get rid of these two. Oh, cool. Now we have a bunch of like little eye, like what do we call these little animation or little expressions? And all I'm going to do is turn off that little feature here. I'm going to take my mouse off my my pad, and my mouse pad. I'm going to hold Shift and D, and it's going to create a duplicate. I'm going to left click. I'm going to do this, and I know I have 16 different things I need to do. All I'm going to do is I'm going to create little body groups for the eyes. And you're going to see what I mean. So I turned off all the others, so I hid them. And then I'm going to, this one was highlight erasure. You're going to click here. I turned it on with the value. Hit apply selected. Now it's applied. The shape key. Delete. Actually, I'm going to now delete the rest. I'm going to rename this Watame Eyes Highlights Remover. I don't know. And now, like if you're in GMOD, you can just change your player model to reflect that, you know? And it's like, oh cool, now I can have, I don't know, whatever this cursed face is. And then let's do the next thing for the next one. Highlight, expand big. Actually, I don't genuinely think anyone will use this, but whatever. I will keep it. And then I will apply the selected shape key and delete the rest. Cool. Next, and make sure you don't do it to the base eye. Yeah. Yeah, make sure you don't delete all the shape keys for the base eye yet, just in case you screw up. We're going to this, apply selected shape key, delete all. I'm gonna name this. This looks like cat eyes to me, so I'm gonna call it cat. I just call it cat. Yeah, why not? And name them whatever you want, guys. You don't have to listen to me. And you know, I think this makes it more fun for anime models. You know, the little creativity that you guys can have. And make sure you are deleting the shape keys though. The model will port, you know, with them, but it will. Just don't actually. Just don't. Just delete them. Make sure only one thing has the shape keys, which is the head. Just like in his video tutorial. Dead Waters, that is. Cool. And I will skip ahead to when we are done with this. Okay. Alright, so here we are. We are finished with the eyes. It's very, well, of course they are going to overlap, but again, you are going to make these body groups, so they will sit, you won't see them all at the same time, obviously. I did go back and fix something in the head, of course. Don't worry about this. This is something separate. You guys probably saw me do it on accident. Very unrelated. Anyways, you know, you can always, well, I'm not gonna make it in this tutorial, but if you ever have a problem with shape keys not working, there are ways to fix shape keys. Anyways, just keep that in mind. You can always Google a tutorial of that. It's very simple. This tutorial is getting very long, so I don't want to get it in here. Anyways, disregarding that, we are pretty much done. Okay, so again, going over the steps we did the material fix. Everything uses sort of just one. And we've gotten the body groups we wanted to create. We've got all of this. We've got everything under, you know, that materials we needed. Sorry, not materials, the vertices we needed. So yeah, we've really went around and sort of fixed a lot of the problems with the model. And yeah, you know, the only thing left to do is just a little few checks. Again, you do want to make sure, I cannot stress this enough, the shape keys are only on one object, that being the head here. And yeah, we're all ready to port out into the next step, of course, which we are going to go back to the, I think we were working on the Watame model. There is a, he's going to give you a file, he's going to name all this stuff like compile. We're going to skip around a bit, actually, save myself some time. I have a copy of my compile file. And yeah, so anyways, you know, these aren't special files. You know, it just helps the naming schemes that you guys have sort of a basis. And he's going to give you these files in his tutorial again. So I'm just sort of preemptively setting myself up, and I will return once I am at the next step that, you know, you have to be a bit more he doesn't explain in his video because these models sort of take up more time than per se the normal one. Okay, I will cut back to that. I thought I would also just briefly, before we switch over actually, just regarding, you know, some little things here and there. Maybe he went over too quick, I'm not sure. You might run into some errors with when you export. I've set up where I want my files to export to. again, you're going to come to this tab here, set SMD. You can, because we're going to be using the SFM compiler instead of the Gary's Mod one, you can use DMX. However, I wouldn't recommend that. If you were going to use DMX, I would only use it for the head. And then it still changes it when you do the proportion trick. So I would say it's unneeded to use DMX. So just stick with the SMD. And I'll show you right now. Maybe we'll get the error here. I doubt it. If I try to... Actually, I'm going to turn the head off, actually. You probably want to get used to selecting everything, making sure you select the armature. Because the head has the shape keys, I usually export it separately. Because sometimes when you're waiting for the files to appear, because the head has shape keys, it will not... You should just do them separately because your Blender might crash and all these different things. Anyway, Blender crashing is not a huge deal. It's just a matter of it might lose track of how many files you need to do. So let's see, and ignore the warnings. Again, we're under that threshold of bones. It would tell you though, it will always tell you 128 is the limit. However, we're going to be using SFM again, so do not worry about that. And again, I'm just going to turn these all off and then turn the head back on. Select A to select everything. And yeah, just going to port this. And seeing as how it's taking a bit, you can kind of tell how slow it's working. Yeah. Just quit Steam. Maybe that'll help. Okay, I think it ported. There we go. Yeah, we got the VTA. He's going to show you in the tutorial. Anyways, move the VTA. Do it now, though, in case you guys forget. Okay, cool. It's all set up for the proportion trick. Ignore my part of the... I'm not going to do the proportion trick in my video. His is more clear and cut. Anyways, I will get back to you guys when we get back to the QC editing. Alright, so we're back after doing the proportion trick. You're going to the QC editing. Again, your guys' QC will not look like mine. Well, actually, it'll look very similar to what I'm talking about. However, I'm just going to, get over the really quick stuff, So, again, yeah, I mean, you guys are going to be doing basically whatever was in the tutorial with Deadwater stuff. However, just some little notes I want to touch on that I think are really helpful. Again, I think I've said earlier in the video. I think the shape key limit. Shape key limit is about 96. I have not tested this. It's just hearsay. I'm going to test it in this video myself as I'm porting this if it's higher. I've never had a model with this many shape keys. If it's not true, it's 128. You guys will find out by the end of the video, and I'll probably write it down somewhere in the description, some general info. But otherwise, things that really help is something like this. So I don't know if you guys are opposed to using ChatGPT or whatever. However, anyone can do this. I literally just told ChatGPT, and as you guys are going to find out when you guys watch his video with QC editing, you can sit there and copy paste over each shape key, but I don't really like to do that. I simply only do it once. I do it for this, and then I just tell ChatGPT, please write it in this sort of sense. I think you guys can figure out how to do that. I mean, if you guys are this far, ChatGPT shouldn't be that much harder. You just sort of say, please write it, phenom rate, take the word from here and go between the two. I don't think it's that much of a problem for real. Anyways, second thing, I don't know if he really goes over, I kind of forget already, but regarding body groups that need to be sort of, I don't think he does this, but let's say we wanted and let me get the model back up actually. Let's say for some reason, or not for some reason, a lot of you guys might be doing this. Let's go to the eyes right here. We want them to be right, I want these eyes to come first, then alphabetically cat, spare, blah, 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 blah. and I want to be able to turn them on each, one at a time. All you're gonna do is do what I've done here, right? You put you want the one you normally want, and then you want the next one you can switch to. Next one you can switch to, and you guys have all played GMOD, I'm sure. You can change things to body group. And then I think he talks about you leave the word blank here if you want it to be disableable. I don't want her clothes to be disableable. Watame's ignore Koyori here. I want it to be disableable, but I don't want to make it a disableable, but I do want them to be able to switch. So you can switch between, I don't know. Watame doesn't really have anything to switch through, but that's why you guys are probably going to be using mainly the blank function. He does talk about it. And yeah, that's really it for the body group section. I haven't really messed with any of these settings here. I did mess with the Jigglebones. You guys are welcome to copy what I've written here. I actually don't know too much about the Jigglebones myself. I decompiled someone else's model once, and I just stuck with these settings. They work pretty good all around. If you want to have really accurate Jigglebones, go ahead. I don't really care. As long as the hair moves, it's good to me. But anyways, this is 250 bones probably, so it will take some time, going in between. And then everything else is basically the same between mine and his QC editing. So yeah, I mean, again, if you guys have questions, just leave them in the comments. I will finish this by myself, then I'll come back and we will discuss one last final section, sort of the materials and the final touches with the because the C arms you can do from his tutorial without my help, and you can also do the physics model with his help. I'll just be getting down to the materials. He does have this whole section about making materials look really beautiful. Anime characters like MMDs, VRMs don't really need that. You just need it to, we just want the goal of them looking like this in game. If you want a realistic style, follow his, but you guys can follow mine for the most part at the end. So yeah, we'll just ignore this for now, and I'll come back when we're at that step. Just thought I'd step on a quick little thing about regarding jiggle physics, jiggle bones. When you're at this stage where you're sort of selecting them, I find it's easiest to first remove bones will not need to be a jiggle bone. So like any of the core body parts, the eyeballs. Maybe you want the eyes to jiggle. I think that would look weird though. Still, do this. Let's see. Shoulder or clavicle, upper arm, forearm. These little twist bones need to go as well. You can actually hit C, use your mouse wheel to do this. Select them all. Escape to go here. And I'm just shift clicking these bones as I find them. I already know which bones to get rid of usually. Like these can go. These here. Let's just hide them for now. I think I don't need these either. Yeah, I mean, you could have this move, but seeing as how this wouldn't clip through someone's arm, yeah, I think these should not. Oh, this is a good one. Maybe just this one can move, perhaps. Yeah, maybe this one's okay to move, but definitely not this. I think that looks bad. Let's hide just this one. We'll keep this one. Maybe in game I'll find I don't like it, but I'll keep that one for now. Hide here. Okay, yeah, so let's get rid of those spine bones. Get rid of these. Skirt parent. So this is sort of a debated one. Should you keep this? No. Absolutely not. Okay. Definitely don't want the feet to move. I don't even think you're allowed to assign them as jiggle bones. Some things just can't. This is a creative step again. Like, should this thing be moving? Well, in my opinion, the bag is attached to the belt, so it shouldn't move. But maybe you want to make it move. You could sort of change the length and stuff, make it lower, everything lower, so it doesn't move much. So I just think, I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I might regret that later, but I don't really mind. Yeah, I think I got all the bones. Let me just check the head really quickly. Sometimes there's a hair parent. You don't want to make that. Oh yeah, here we go. Back hair origin. Maybe? No. Let's see. As soon as it starts like clipping like that, I don't think it looks that great. I think we're gonna say no to this bone here, actually. Say no to this one. And yeah, I think if the hair even got out that far, it would look a bit weird. And then let's check the ahoge. I don't think this controls anything. If you ever want to check if a bone has control over something, go to object mode, switch to weight paint, and let's see, you're gonna go here, vertex groups. You're just gonna use your keys, your arrow keys. You can scroll around, looking for antenna. Oh, right there. Antenna tip controls nothing. Okay, so sometimes the fix doesn't get rid of all the unnecessary bones. This antenna tip controls nothing, so I can actually get rid of it. But in fact, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just going to just hide it, whatever. Yeah, I think I have all the bones I want. This is a lot of bones. Let's check. 182 I'm gonna have to put into here individually. So this is just unfortunately when you get a very good model with lots of bones, it's just something you have to do. Keep in mind, if you ever have a problem in game, let's say you miss a bone. Let's say I get this bone and this bone, but I miss this middle one. The texture will be all messed up. So you need to always go back and make sure you got every bone in sequential order. You cannot have this bone and say like, oh, if this is the Jigglebone, the game knows all 4 of these are Jigglebones. The game does not know that. So you need to individually do all 4. It's a requirement. You can, however, have just this one. You don't need this one. But yeah, that's what I did here, right? I hid this. I hid this one's like parent bone. You can have this move, but I cannot have this one and this one. That doesn't make sense. I can have just this, or I can have the whole thing, or I can have just these 3. I think you guys get the point though. Anyways, I will come back after that is done, and we'll get to materials. Just a quick note: as you are slowly inputting, the new bones into the thing, so that you don't get confused, select them and hide them, so you don't screw up later on and reselect them. Especially when you get to like long hairs like this, like you might your eyes might start to blur and be like, oh, I really did 9 or whatever, but you didn't. So make sure you hide them along the way. And if you ever panic that you can't find them, hit Alt H. It will return all the bones. Or I think you can individually bring them back through here, but yeah, I think that's unnecessary. Just Alt H. Okay. Anyways, yep, just a short thing. Hey guys, I'm back. I don't think Deadwater covered this. You can have multiple things when you're doing the carms. You can actually edit your file to be exactly like a normal QC, if that makes sense. You don't have to. What I mean is you don't have to have. You can have like parts of the carms, C arms removable. So like right here I have the cause Deadwater I think merged everything together. Like the whole like close on the arms, but our MMDs might have more vertices. So we can actually keep these. I'm gonna select all of them. Edit, do the same steps as him. X-ray, edit, turn on box mode with B, and then just delete. Again, and what we have here is now we have a bunch of these body groups that we've kept now. Just delete this part real quick. anyways, we've kept these body groups here. Like we have the arm here, we have oh, I lied. I guess we don't have this. You have these two parts. You know, in fact, I'm actually gonna merge them. I think. Can I do that? Let's check. Maybe I don't have enough. No, okay, I lied. We can't merge them. Too many vertices. But anyways, you know, if you're in first person on GMOD, you can turn these on and off now, you know. So I think that's a neat little trick. Anyways, I am going to continue back later. Alright everyone, I have just finished all of the relevant steps of the modeling, and now last is the materials and putting it in the game. I will be giving you guys a copy of my sort of master version, I suppose, of the actual folder. Deadwater does give you his own copy. He didn't give you one for NPCs though. I don't actually know why. Maybe he didn't care about it. But anyways, I'll give you my copy. Just gonna quickly, of course, you know, you go to your Gmod copy, and we're just gonna browse your local files, of course, and then we will go to Gary's Mod add-ons. I'll give you guys a copy of my what was it called? The full thing. And I'm gonna rename this to oh yes, Tsunomaki Watame. And yeah, you know, you guys will get a blank copy. You guys can put in your name. I just want to make sure when you guys are doing your compiling, obviously don't copy my name. I had a friend once when I taught him leave my name, think he was important. Do not. He does tell you to put your own name there. Again, your files have to be exactly routed correctly, or they will not work. So you know, when I give you guys the blank copy of mine, make sure you are editing these files to whatever you set it as. You know. So usually what I do to help me sort of speed along the process, I copy paste this middle text here, and you know, just go down the line. Sorry, these are old textures, so I'm gonna delete these. You know, and just sort of prep everything for the when we paste everything in. And you know, I keep everything pretty consistent amongst all the models. You guys will get this. This is very important. This shared file really makes all of your characters brighter, which is the main thing. And yeah. And as you can see, you're going to basically copy what I'm doing when you guys are doing this. You know, I'm replacing all of these, you know, with the relevant names. This is going to be the pictures for your NPCs. This, of course, is the actual textures NPCs will have. This is the model that we're going to paste over. There we go. Oh, shoot. And let's go get those copies now. Control C these over. Okay. All right. And yeah, do the same thing here. This he did not give you as well, I believe. This sort of NPC thing. Yeah, make sure you are changing, you know, local category. I will change it for you guys, but you know, I don't think you guys want. I don't think everybody will be porting whole live models, so you know, make sure to change those. And yeah, you know, it's really just a copy paste game at this point. You know, we're basically done with all the hard stuff if you're done here. And you know, I'll get to the part about making you know, posting the model itself. I don't think he did that either. I think I had to learn that myself. But you know, other than that, yeah, I think we're pretty close to being finished. I didn't change these. Yeah, make sure every pathing is correct, or you guys will be confused why you cannot see the model in game. And I did correct the mistake earlier. I don't know if you guys were screaming at me, writing Sunomaki wrong as Sunokami. I caught that later on. Yeah, okay, cool. Everything has been set up correctly. Yes. Now all we're going to do is quickly get those textures in. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your VTF edit that he gave you the copy of. Actually, we're done with everything. The model Lua, we're done here. Oh no, we're not. I lied. We will go back to, this can go. Okay, we need to be in materials, and what we're going to do is we're going to reset all of the names. So we need to get one more file up. With your copy of Blender open, maybe it'll help to do this. Let's shrink this down. Let's get the Watame up. And oh, sorry, wrong. Okay, right here. We have the textures for her clothes and stuff. So what we'll do is you are just going to drag and drop them in. What you will do though is you will check what the names of those you made them are. You guys probably, if you've seen his video, you already know this step, but just gotta make sure you know what the names of each thing is. I kind of already can't tell what this is. This is the front hair and the side hair. Yep. Navigate to where your model is and side hair. Now I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm gonna do it again. You might have a let's see. You guys might have different settings based on what he told you to do. Here are my settings. Here's my advanced. Just pause the thing to look at them. I'm not too different from his, I believe, but I did change this, I think. So just keep that in mind. Alright. Alright, and I will reconvene when we're done with this, and I'll show you my QC setup. Alright, so after you finish that step, you're going to come right into here. So, right here, as you can see, I have the body VMT assigned to the body texture. Again, you can also use GIMP to sort of check these textures out if you need to. I do have this set. You do need to set the translucency. You can use these 2/ method to not run this while in game. Another important thing is remembering no cull. No cull will make the model appear on both sides, the texturing. And then the extra file you have within there, the shared textures. Right here you have the light warp, Fong, and the these really boost the color of the texture. Oh, and the normal as well. These are within the shared files. So you can quite clearly see right here with these. Alright. So now just this way I save time. You can just do, oh actually not eyes. The eyes are special though. Sometimes you don't want the eyes to, so right here I have monitor screen. This gives them the night vision sort of look when they're in the darkness. Normally you can use vertex lit generic, but you can also use monitor screen as well. I would not recommend it though, except for pieces like the eyes, and you'll see in game that it'll be glowing. So I will return after I've done all of the texturing, and then the next time we'll be in the game. Okay, so now we're in game, and spawn in Watame. As you can see, we've got everything working. Our eyes are glowing because of that monitor screen thing. I don't recommend you guys doing it in case of, I mean you can, but it might break some certain things regarding, let's say these eye highlights, these little white and green white things. Yeah, these are going to disappear if you use monitor screen. However, if you're using the normal vertex lit generic, it won't have a problem. It's sort of complicated, but basically things that are not the eye, like this singular thing here, are going to disappear if you make the eye highlights monitor screen as well. So you'd have to edit that in the Blender file itself. Anyways, I did find out, unfortunately, 96 is the limit. I don't think many people will be approaching 96, so I wouldn't worry about it. But yes, unfortunately, 118 is not, or 128 is not the limit. That would be the SFM limit. GMOD's limit is 96 for the time being, and I will correct that. Alright, and that would be everything. To confirm though, regarding the implementation at least of the sort of like these pictures, right, for your model, you will need to create a 512 by 512 PNG. There are tutorials online, not videos, just written documents. You can find those quite simply, but for the sake of today, I will show you quickly how to do it. Because I use the Koyori template, it is using those pictures. However, just a simple change. All you would do is you'd drop the picture into VTF, and it would fix this. As you can see, though, sometimes having the length modifier is not the best. As you can see, her cloak is super bouncy. So yes, when you play around with the jiggle physics and the jiggle bones, it does tend to make some perhaps undesirable bounciness within clothes. So keep that in mind when you are editing your own QC. Okay, so that does it for this step. I will briefly show you how to get the picture changed. So let's go into, I just do a very simple, go to the green screen. I get some sort of photo editing app. I just use Pixlr Online, but you're welcome to use Photoshop. Anything that allows you to edit PNGs. Anyhow, I simply just load into the green screen app, and this is quite simple. That's all we're gonna do. I mean, you guys are welcome to do it my way. You don't have to though. Spawn them in, use some sort of standing pose, and then I don't really care. You guys can do it however you want. It's just an example. Let's say it's like this, and maybe it's like that. I don't know. Maybe this is the angry face, I suppose. Then I just align here, picture, Windows Shift S, save copy of that, and let's see. Get a copy, and then let's see. Let's quickly make a angry face of sorts, or sorry, happy face. Okay, and again, that would conclude these pictures. Now all you will do is take those pictures, edit them to be 512 by 512, and then you will drag and drop them over your the current whichever file you have inside the file that'll be linked. Just override them, and the picture will be overwritten. And that concludes this regarding the NPC pictures. I will give a brief tutorial on creating sort of NPCs with firearms. Returning back to your folder, if you go back to Lua Auto Run, if you go to your notepad, right here I have it set so that they do not have a weapon when I spawn them. However, there is a list online you can find of the GMOD like weapon setup. So in the case that you wanted to give them weapons, you would need to change this from like SMG1 to maybe SMG2. SMG1 is actually no weapon according to the game. Anyhow, yep, that concludes the MMD to GMOD tutorial, and that would be, yep. Unfortunately, any phase poser sort of access, there is no mod to extend the face posing ability to 128 again, so it is limited to 96. Alright. Alright, because I forgot to mention it, to do the publishing of the mod, you will need to take the folder that you have created with all of your things attached. I just put it on my desktop, a copy of it, and then you will, using the publish feature in Crowbar, enter all the subscriber agreement in your account. Quickly, I have a template that I already have. I can't unfortunately share these with you guys. You would need to create your own. However, I will just quickly find a model template. Let's see. Let's go off of the, oh, here we go. Save this one as a template. No. Sure, use this as a template. You're just going to name it up here, and it's pretty obvious. You just upload the folder that you've created with it here. Just open. Give it a random picture. The thumbnail can only be 512 by 512 as well, so it is relevant. You need to select these as well. You can publish it straight to public if you'd like to. I usually do unlisted or hidden first, and then straight there. And let's see. Edit to your liking. You can change things later on if you need to. I'm just going to type this very quickly. And right here. Okay. You can just hit publish at this point. Sometimes it'll fail. It'll just save as a draft and you can just republish again. Alright, and that's all you'd have to do, and you can just check back on your Steam profile and your GMOD workshop and it will be uploaded.